out to be plain. Sometimes it's a shell in the Orion's mouth we find. All of us take a sheep of grain, of me a grain, of me a grain, of me a grain, of me a grain. All of us take a sheep of grain, of me a grain, of me a grain, of me a grain, of me a grain. Within this pack is white spaces and lots and diverse toys fitting a country fair. But in my heart, where duty serves I lost, turtles and twins go through the handy pair. Happy the man that thinks no removes, of no removes, of no removes. Happy the man that thinks no removes, of no removes, shall kiss to die.
bequeath me by will, but for 1,000 crowns. And as thou sayest, charge my brother on his blessing to breed me well. There begins my sadness. My brother Jakes, he keeps at school, and reports speak goldenly of his profit. For my part, he keeps me rustically at home, or to speak more properly, stays me here at home unkept. For call you that keeping for a gentleman of my birth that differs not from the stalling of an ox? His horses are bred better. But I, his brother, gain nothing under him but growth, for the which his animals on his dunghills are as much bound to him as I. Besides this nothing that he so plentifully gives me, there's something that nature gave me his countenance seems to take from me. He lets me feed with his hinds, bars me the place of a brother, and as much as in him lies, mines my gentility with my education. This is it, Adam, that grieves me. And the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, begins to mutiny against this servitude. I will no longer endure it, though yet I know no wise remedy how to avoid it.
Yonder come my master, your brother.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing. I'm not taught to make anything.
What mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I'm helping you to mar that which God made, a poor, unworthy brother of yours with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed and be naught a while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them? What prodigal portion have I spent to come to such penury?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, very well, here in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
Aye, better than him I am before knows me. I know you are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of blood you should so know me. The courtesy of nations allows you my better in that you are the firstborn, but the same tradition takes not away my blood where there are 20 brothers betwixt us. I have as much of my father's blood in me as you, albeit your coming sooner is nearer his reverence.
What, boy?
Oh, come, elder brother, you are too young in this.
Will you lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Rowland de Boys. He was my father, and he is thrice a villain that says such a father begot villains. Wert thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thy throat till its other had pulled out thy tongue for saying so. Thou hast railed on thyself.
Sweet masters, be patient, for your father's remembrance be at accord.
Will you let me go, sir?
I will not till I please. You shall hear me. My father charged you in his will to give me good education. You have trained me like a peasant, obscuring and hiding from me all gentlemanlike qualities. The spirit of my father grows strong in me. I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such exercises as may become a gentleman, or give me the poor lottery my father left me by testament. With that I will go buy my fortunes.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? Well, sir, get you in. I will not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will. I pray you leave me.
I no further offend you than becomes me for my good.
And get you with him, you old dog.
His old dog my reward. Must who have lost my teeth in your service. God bless my old master, who will have spoke such a words.
Is it even so? Begin you to grow on me? I will physic your rankness, and yet give no 1,000 crowns neither. Holla, Dennis! Calls your worship. Was not Charles the Duke's wrestler here to speak with me?
Well, so please you, he's here at the door and importunes access to...
Call him in. 'Twill be a good way, and tomorrow the wrestling is.
Good morrow to your worship.
Good, Monsieur Charles. How's the new news at the new court?
There's no news at the court, sir, but the old news. And that is that the old Duke has been banished by his younger brother, the new Duke, and 3 or 4 loving lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with him. Their lands and revenues enriching the new Duke. Therefore, he gives them good leave to wander.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the Duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh, no. For the Duke's daughter, her cousin, so loves her, them being from the cradle bred together, that she would follow her exile, or die to stay behind her. She is at the court, and no less beloved of her uncle than his own daughter, and never have 2 ladies loved as they do.
And where will the old Duke live?
Well, they say he is already in the forest of Arden, and many merry men along with him, and there they live like the old Robin Hood of England. They say that many young gentlemen flock to him every day and fleet their time carelessly as they did in the golden world.
What, and tomorrow you wrestle before the new Duke?
Marry do I, sir. And I come to you to acquaint you with the matter. I am given, sir, secretly to understand that your younger brother Orlando has dispositioned himself to come disguised against me and try a fall. Tomorrow, sir, I wrestle for my credit, and he that escapes me without some broken limb will acquit him well. Your brother is but young and tender, and for my love for you, I would loathe to foil him, but I must for my own honour if he should come in. Therefore, out of my love for you, I come hither to you to acquaint you with all, that either you stay him from his intentment or brook well for any disgrace that he may befall, it being of his own search and entirely against my will.
Charles, I thank thee for thy love to me, which thou shalt find I will most kindly requite. I had myself notice of my brother's purpose herein, and have, by underhand means, laboured to dissuade him from it, but he is resolute, and thou wert best look to it. For if thou do him some slight disgrace, or if he do not mightily grace himself on thee, he will purpose against thee by poison, entrap thee by some treacherous device, and will never leave thee until he hath ta'en thy life by some indirect means or other, for which, almost with tears I speak it, there is not one so young and so villainous this day living.
I am heartily glad I came hither to you. If he should come in tomorrow, I will give him his payment, and if e'er he go alone again, I will not wrestle for prize more. And may God keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. Now will I stir this gamester. I hope I shall see an end of him. For my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet he is gentle, never schooled and yet learned, of noble device, of all sorts enchantingly beloved, and indeed so much in the heart of the world, and especially of my own people who know him best, that I am altogether misprized, but it shall not be long so. Nothing remains but that I kindle the boy thither. Now will I stir this gamester. This I'll go about.
Pray thee, Rosalind, sweet my coz, be merry.
Dear Celia, I show more mirth than I am mistress of, and would you yet I were merrier? Unless you can teach me to forget a banished father, you cannot learn me any extraordinary pleasure.
Herein I see thou lovest me not with the full weight that I love thee. If thy uncle, thy banished father, had banished my uncle, the Duke thy father, so that thou hadst been still with me, I would have taught my love to take thy father for mine. So wouldst thou, if the truth of thy love to me were as righteously tempered as mine is to thee.
Well, I shall forget the condition of my estate, then, to rejoice in yours.
You know my father hath no child but I, nor is none like to have. When he dies, thou shalt be his heir. What he hath taken from thy father perforce, I shall render thee again in affection. By mine honour, I will, when I break this oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
From henceforth, I will, coz, and devise sports. Let me think. What thinks you of falling in love?
Marry, I prithee to make sport withal. Love no man in good earnest, nor no further in sport neither than thou canst with the safety of a pure blush in honour come off again. Now, wit, whither wander you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
You made the messenger.
No, by mine honour, but I was bid to come for you.
How prove you that in the great heap of your knowledge?
Stand you both forth now, stroke your chins, and swear by your beards that I am a knave.
By our beards, if we had them, thou art.
By my knavery, if I had it, then I were. But if you swear by that that is not, you are not forsworn.
Here comes Monsieur Le Beau.
Oh, with his mouth full of news.
Which he will put upon us as a pigeon feeds its young.
Oh, then shall we be news-crammed.
All the better. We shall be the more marketable. Bonjour, Monsieur Le Beau. What's the news?
Fair princesses, you have missed much good sport.
Sport? Of what colour?
Colour, how shall I answer this?
As wit and fortune will.
Or is the destiny's decree?
Well said. That was laid on with a trowel. Well, I will start at the beginning, for the best is yet to come. There comes an old man with his 3 sons. Oh, 3 lovely young men of such excellent growth and presence. Well, the first wrestles with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, and in a thrice he throws him down. Oh! And breaks all of his ribs. I fear there is little life in him. And so the second, and so the third. Yonder they lie, and the poor old man, their father, bemoans such wailing that all the onlookers are crying with him too. Oh, weeping. Oh,
Lass.
What is the sport, monsieur, that the ladies have lost?
Well, good wrestling.
Thus men may grow wiser every day. This is the first time that ever I heard that breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
All right, I promise thee.
Is there any else that longs to see this broken music in his sides? Is there yet another that dotes upon rib breaking? Shall we see the wrestling, cousin?
You shall see it, for here is where it is due to take place. And, oh, they are ready to begin.
Come on. Since the youth will not be entreated, his own peril on his forwardness.
Is yonder the man?
Oh, in here, ma'am.
Lass, he is too young. Yet he looks successfully.
How now, daughter, cousin? Are you crept hither to see the wrestling?
Aye, my liege. So please you give us leave.
Huh. You will take little delight in it, I can tell you. There is such odds in the man. In pity of the challenger's youth, I would fain dissuade him. But he will not be entreated. Speak to him, ladies. See if you can move him.
Good Monsieur Lebeau, call him hither.
Do so. I'll not be by.
Monsieur Challenger, the princess awaits you.
Tend with all respect and duty.
Young sir, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
No, fair princess, he is the general challenger. I come but in as others do, to try with him the strength of my youth.
Young gentleman, your spirits are too bold for your years. You have seen cruel proof of this man's strength. If you saw yourself with your eyes, or knew yourself with your judgment, the fear of your adventure would counsel you to a more equal enterprise. Therefore, we pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir. Your reputation shall not therefore be misprized. We will make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, wherein I confess me much guilty to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything. But let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trial, wherein if I be foiled there is but one shamed who is never gracious, if killed but one dead that is willing to be so. I would do my friends no wrong, for I have none to lament me. The world no injury, for in it I have nothing. Only in the world I fill up a place which may be better supplied when I have made it empty.
The little strength I have, I would it were with you.
And mine to eke out hers.
Fare you well. I pray heavens I'm deceived in you.
May your heart's desires be with you.
Come. Where is this young gallant who is so eager to lie with his mother earth?
Ready, sir, though his will hath in it a more modest working.
You shall try but one fall.
No, your grace. I warrant you don't entreat him to a second who has so mightily persuaded him from a first.
You mean to mock me after? You should not have mocked me before. But come your ways.
Hercules be thy speed, young man.
Would I had a thunderbolt in my eye. I can tell he would damn. Were invisible, I'd grab the strong fellow by the leg.
Oh, excellent young man!
Yes, I beseech your grace. I'm not yet well breathed.
How dost thou, Charles?
He cannot speak, my lord.
Bear him away. What is thy name, young man?
Orlando, my liege, the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boys.
Aye, would thou hadst been son to some man else. The world did esteem thy father honourable, but I did find him still mine enemy. Thou shouldst have better pleased me with this deed, hadst thou descended from another house. But fare thee well, thou art a gallant youth. I would thou hadst told me of another father.
Were I my father, cuz, would I do this?
I'm more proud to be Sir Roland's son, his youngest son, and would not change that calling to be adopted heir to Frederick.
My father loved Sir Roland as his soul, and all the world was of my father's mind. Had I before known this young man, his son, I would have given tears unto entreaties ere he should thus have ventured.
Gentle cousin, let us go thank him and encourage him. My father's envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved. If you do keep your promises in love, but justly as you have exceeded all promise, your mistress shall be happy.
Gentlemen, wear this for me, one out of suits for fortune, that would give more but her hand lacks means.
Fare thee well, fair gentleman.
Cannot I say I thank you? Oh, my better parts are all thrown down, and that which here stands up is but a quintain, a mere lifeless block.
He calls us back. My pride fell with my fortunes. I'll ask him what he would. Did you call, sir? Sir, you have wrestled well and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, cuz?
I'm with you. Fare you well.
Oh, what passion hangs these weights upon my tongue! I cannot speak to her, yet she urged conference. Oh, poor Orlando, thou art overthrown, or Charles, or something weaker masters thee.
I do, good sir, in friendship counsel you to leave this place, albeit you have deserved high acclaim, rich applause, and true love. The Duke's condition is such that he misconstrues all that you can do. Oh, indeed, the Duke is humorous indeed, far be it more for you to conceive than me to speak of.
Well, I thank you, sir. But pray you tell me this, which of the two was daughter of the Duke that here was at the wrestling?
Neither, if one were to judge by manners, but the smaller is his daughter. The other is daughter of the banished Duke, hereby detained by her usurping uncle to keep his daughter company, whose truer loves are greater than those of bond of sisters. But of late, the Duke has taken against his gentle niece, grounded on no argument other than the people love her for her virtues and pity her for her poor father's sake. And on my life, the Duke's malice will flare up, so fare you well, kind sir. I hope to know and love you in another life.
I rest much bounden to you, sir. Fare you well. Thus must I from the smoke into the smother, from a tyrant Duke unto a tyrant brother. But heavenly Rosalind,
have mercy, not a word.
Not one to throw at a dog.
No, thy words are too precious to be cast away on curs. Throw some of them at me. Lame me with reasons.
Well, then there were two cousins laid up, when one should be lamed with reason, and the other mad without any.
But is all this for thy father?
No, some of this is for my child's father. How full of briars this working day world.
Oh, they are but burrs, cousin, cast upon thee in holiday foolery. If we walk not in the trodden paths, our very petticoats will catch them.
I could shake them off my coat. These burrs are in my heart.
Well, hem them away.
I would try if I could hem them and have him.
Come, cousin, wrestle with thy emotions.
They take the part of a better wrestler than myself.
Well, a good wish upon thee. You will try in despite of a fall. But casting these jests out of service, let us speak in good earnest. Is it possible on such a sudden that you should have fallen into such a strong liking with old Sir Rowland's youngest son?
Well, the Duke my father loved his father dearly.
Well, does it then ensue that you should love his son dearly? By this kind of chase, I should hate him, for my father hated his father dearly. And yet, I hate not Orlando.
No, Faith, hate him not, for my sake.
Why should I not? Doth he not deserve well?
Let me love him for that. And do you love him? Because I do.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle?
You, cousin, within these 10 days, if that thou beest found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace. Let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me. If I have acquainted to my own desires, or if I do not dream or be not frantic, then, dear uncle, never so much in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. If their purgation did consist in words, they are as innocent as grace itself. Let it suffice thee that I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter, there's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord, or if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor. Then, good my liege, mistake me not to think my poverty is treacherous.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
Aye, Celia, we stayed her for your sake, else had she with her father ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young that time to value her. But now I know her. Well, if she be traitor, why so am I. We still have slept together, risen at an instant, ate, learned, played together. And wheresoe'er we went, still like Juno's swans, we went coupled and inseparable.
She is too subtle for thee, and her smoothness, her very patience and her silence speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name, and thou wilt show more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone. Then open not thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom which I have passed upon her. She is banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live out of her company.
You are a fool. Eunice, provide yourself. If you outstay this time, then upon mine honour and in the greatness of my word, you die.
Poor Rosalind. Whither wilt thou go? Wilt thou change fathers? I will give thee mine. I charge thee, be not thou more grieved than I am.
I have more cause.
Thou hast not, cousin. Knowest thou not that the Duke hath banished me, his daughter?
That he hath not.
Hath not? Rosalind lacks then the love that teaches that thou and I am one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No, let my father seek another heir. Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whither to go, and what to bear with us. And do not seek to take your change upon yourself, to bear your griefs yourself, and leave me out.
For by this heaven, at our sorrow's pale, say what thou canst. I'll go along with thee.
Whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Oh, alas, what danger will it be to us maids as we are to travel forth so far? Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire, and with a kind of umber smirch my face. The like do you. Thus we may pass along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better, because I am more than common tall, that I did suit me at all points like a man? A curtlax up my thigh, a boar spear in my hand.
And what shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page. Therefore, look, you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
But cousin, what if we essayed to steal the clownish fool out of your father's court? Wouldn't he be a comfort to our travels?
Oh, he'll go all the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Let's away and get our jewels and our wealth together. Devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us from the pursuit that will be made after my flight. Now, go we in content to liberty and not to banishment.
Now, my co-mates and brothers in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pomp? Are not these woods more free from peril than the envious court? Here feel we not the penalty of Adam, the season's difference, as the icy fang and churlish chiding of the winter's wind, which when it blows upon my body, when even though I shrink with cold, I smile and say, this is no flattery. These are counsellors that feelingly persuade me what I am. Sweet are the uses of adversity, which, like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in his head. And this our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything.
I would not change it. Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me and turn his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy but winter and rough weather.
More, I pray thee, more.
It will make you melancholy, Mr. Jaques.
Oh, I thank it. I can suck melancholy out of a song as a weasel sucks eggs. More, I pray thee, more.
Oh, my voice is ragged. It will not please you.
I do not desire you to please me. I do desire you to sing. Come, more. Another stanzo. Call you them stanzos?
Call them what you will, Mr. Jaques.
Nay, I care not for their name. They owe me nothing. Come, sing.
More at your request than to please myself.
Well then, if ever I thank any man, I thank you. Come, sing, and those of you that will not, hold your tongues.
Well, I'll end the song. Sirs, cover the wine. The Duke will drink here ere long. He hath been all the day to look you.
Oh, and I have been all this day to avoid him. He's far too disputable for my company. I think of as many matters as he, but I give heaven thanks and make no boast of them. Come, Warble, come.
Who doth ambition shun and loves to lie the sun, seeking the food he eats and liking what he gets. Come hither, come hither, come hither.
Here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather.
I know a verse to that note that I made yesterday in despite of my invention.
Oh, well, I'll sing it.
And thus it goes. If it do come to pass that any man turn ass, leaving his wealth and ease, a stubborn will to please. Duc dame, duc dame, duc dame. Here shall he see gross fools as he, and if he will come to me.
Well, what's this duc dame?
'Tis a Greek invocation for calling fools into a circle. Oh, I'll go sleep if I can. If I cannot, I'll rail against all the firstborn of Egypt.
If it shall come to pass that any man turn us and leave his life of ease, a stubborn will to please. Duc dame, duc dame, duc dame. Here shall he see such fools as he, and if he will come to me.
Can it be possible that no man saw them? It cannot be. Some villains of my court are of consent and sufferance in this.
I cannot hear of any that did see her. The ladies, attendants of her chamber, saw her bed, and in the morning early, they found the bed untreasured of their mistress.
My lord, the varnished clown at whom so oft your grace was wont to laugh is also missing. Hesperia, the princess's gentlewoman, confesses that she secretly overheard your daughter and her cousin much commend the parts and graces of the wrestler that did lately fall the Signori Charles, and she believes that wherever they're gone, that youth is surely in their company.
Send to his brother, fetch that gallant hither, I'll make him find him. Do this, and let not search and inquisition quail to bring again these foolish runaways.
Who's there?
What? My young master! Oh, my gentle master! Oh, my sweet master! Your prizes come too swiftly home before you. Know you not to such kind of men? Their graces serve them but as enemies. No more do yours. Your virtue, gentle masters, are sanctified, and only traitors to you. Oh, what a word is this! One what is comely, and venoms him that bears it.
Why, what's the matter?
Anapius, come not within these doors. Within this roof, the enemy of all your graces lives. Your brother. No brother. Yet the son. Yet not the son. I will not call him son. Of him I was about to call his father. Has heard your praises, and this night he means to burn the lodging where you used to lie. And you within it. If he fell of that, he will find other means to cut you off. I overheard him, and his practices. This is no place. This house is but a butchery. Fear it, abhor it, do not enter it.
Whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, so you come not here.
What, would they have me go and beg my food, or with a base and boisterous sword enforce a thievish living on the common road?
But do not so. I have 500 crowns. The thrifty eyes sent under your father, which I distort to be my foster nurse, when service in my old limbs lie lame, and in regarded edge in corners thrown. Take that, and he that does the ravens feed, yea, providently caters for the sparrow. Be comfort to my age. Here's the gold, all this I give you. Let me be your servant. Though I look old, yet I am strong and lusty. I will do the service of a younger man in all your business necessities.
Oh, good old man, how well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world, when service sweat for duty, not for meed. Poor old man, thou prunest a rotten tree that cannot so much as a blossom yield in lieu of all thy pains and husbandry, but come thy ways, we'll go along together.
Go on, master. I will follow you to the last gasp, with truth and loyalty.
Jupiter, how weary are my spirits.
I care not for my spirits if my legs were not weary.
Oh, I could find it in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and cry like a woman.
But Dublin hose ought to show itself courageous to petticoat. Therefore, courage, good Aliena. I pray you bear with me. I cannot go no further.
Well, for my part, I'd rather bear with you than bear you. Yeah, I should bear no cross if I did bear you, for I think you have no money in your purse.
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Right, now I am in Arden, the more fool I. When I was at home, I was in a better place, but travellers must be content.
Aye, be so good, Touchstone. Look you, who comes here? A young man and old in solemn talk?
For you still.
Oh, Corin, if thou knewst how I do love her!
Well, I partly guess, but I've loved her now.
No, Corin, being old thou canst not guess. Though in thy youth I were as true a lover as ever sighed upon a midnight pillow. Ah, but if thy love was ever like to mine, as sure I think did never man love so. How many actions most ridiculous hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
Unto 1,000 I've forgotten.
Well, then thou never loved so heartily. If thou rememberest not the slightest folly that ever love made thee run into, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not sat as I do now, wearing thy hearer in thy mistress's praise, thou hast not loved. Or, if thou hast not broke from company abruptly, as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe, Phoebe.
Alas, poor shepherd, searching of thy wound. I have by hard adventure found mine own.
And I mine. I remember when I was in love, I broke my sword upon a stone and bid him take that for coming a night to Jane's smile. And I remember the kissing of her butler and her cow's dugs and her pretty chopped hands had milked. And I remember the wooing of a pea skid instead of her, from whom I took 2 gods. And giving her them again, said with weeping tears, wear these for my sake. We that are lovers run into strange capers. But just as all is mortal in nature, so is all nature in love mortal in folly.
Thou speakest wiser than thou art ware of.
Nay, I shall ne'er be wearing my own wit till I break my shins against it.
Jove, Jove, that shepherd's fashion is much upon my fashion.
And mine, but it grows something stale with me.
I pray you, one of you, question yon man. If for gold he will give us any food. I faint almost to death.
Holla, you clown!
Fool is not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
Your betters, sir.
Oh, peace I say.
Or else they'd be very wretched.
Good even to you, sir.
And to you, gentle sir. And to you all.
I pray you, if for love or gold can in this desert place buy entertainment, bring us to where we may rest ourselves and feed, for here's a young maid with travel much oppressed and faints for succour.
Fair sir, I pity her, and wish for her sake more than mine own, that my means are more able to relieve her. But, you see, I share not the fleeces that I graze. I'm shepherd to another man. Besides, my master's of churlish disposition, little rakes to find his way to heaven by doing deeds of hospitality. Besides, his flocks, his coats, his bands of feed are now on sale. And as our sheep colt now, by reason of his absence, there's nothing that you would feed upon. Still, what is, come see, and in my voice most welcome you shall be.
What is he that shall buy the flock and pasture?
Why, that young swain that you saw but ere while that little cares for buying anything.
If it stands with honesty, buy thou the cottage, the flock and the pasture, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place. Willingly could spend my time in it.
Assuredly the thing is to be sold. Go with me, and if upon report you like the soil, the profit, and this kind of life, I will your very faithful feeder be, and buy it with your gold right suddenly.
Go no further. All day for food. Here lie down in my grave.
Why, how now, Adam, no greater heart in thee? Live a little, comfort a little, cheer thyself a little. If this uncouth forest yield anything savage, I will either be food for it or bring it for food to thee. For my sake, be comfortable, hold death a while at the arm's end. For I will be here be with thee presently, and if I bring thee not something to eat, I will give thee leave to die. But if thou diest before I come, thou art a mocker of my labour. Well said. Thou lookst cheerly, and I'll be with thee quickly. Yet thou liest in the bleak air. Come, I will bear thee to some shelter. Thou shalt not die for lack of a dinner, if there live anything in this desert. Cheerly, good Adam.
Monsieur, what a life is this that your poor friends must woo your company? What? You look merrily?
A fool, a fool. I met a fool of the forest. A motley fool. A miserable world. As I do live by food, I met a fool who laid him down and basked him in the sun, and railed on Lady Fortune in good terms. In good set terms, and yet a motley fool. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he. Call me not fool till heaven had sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lacklustre eye, doth wisely say, "'Tis 10 o'clock. Thus we may see," quoth he, "how the world wags. 'Tis but 1 hour ago since it was 9, and after 1 hour more 'twill be 11. And so from hour to hour we ripe and ripe, and then from hour to hour we rot and rot, and thereby hangs a tale. As I did listen to the motley fool thus moral on the time, my lungs began to crow like Chanticleer, that fools should be so deep contemplative. And I did laugh, sans intermission, an hour by his dial. O worthy fool, motley's the only wear.
What fool is this?
Oh, one that had been a courtier and says, if ladies be but young and fair, they have the gift to know it. And in his brain, which is as dry as the remainder biscuit after a voyage, he had strange places crammed with observation, the which events in mangled form. Oh, that I were a fool. I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit. I must have liberty withal, as large a charter as the wind, to blow on whom I please, for so fools have. Invest me in my motley, give me leave to speak thy mind, and I will through and through cleanse the foul body of the infected world, if they will patiently receive my medicine.
Fie on thee. I can tell what thou wouldst do.
For a counter, would I do but good?
Most mischievous foul sin in chiding sin, for thou thyself hast been a libertine, as sensual as the brutish sting itself, and all the embossed sores and headed evils that thou, with license of free footers caught, wouldst thou disgorge into the general world.
Forbear and eat no more.
Why, I've eat none yet.
Nor shalt not till necessity be served.
Of what kind should this cock come of?
Art thou thus bolden, man, by thy distress, or just a rude despiser of good manners, that in civility thou seems so empty?
You touched my vein at first. The thorny point of bare distress hath taken from me the show of smooth civility. Yet I am in them bred and know of some nurture. But forbear, I say, he dies that touches any of this fruit till I and my affairs are answered.
You shall not be answered with reason, so I must die.
What wouldst thou have? Thy gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness.
I almost died for food, and let me have it.
Sit down and feed, and welcome to our table.
Speaks you so gently? Pardon me, I pray you. I thought that all things had been savage here, and therefore put I on the countenance of stern commandment. But, well, there you are in this desert inaccessible, under the shade of melancholy boughs, lose and neglect the creeping hours of time. If ever you have looked on better days, if ever you have been my bells of Knoll to church, if ever sat at any good man's feast, if ever from your eyelids wiped a tear and know what 'tis to pity and be pitied, let gentleness my strong enforcement be, in the which hope I blush and hide my sword.
True is it that we have seen better days. Therefore, sit you down in gentleness and take upon command what help we have, that to your wanting may be ministered.
Then but forbear your food a little while, whilst like a doe I go find my fawn and give it food. There's a poor old man who after me hath many a weary step limped in pure love, till he first be sufficed, pressed by 2 weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bit.
Go find him out, and we will nothing waste till you return.
I thank ye, and be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest, we're not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theatre presents more woeful pageants than the scene wherein we play in.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts. His act being 7 ages. At first, the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like a snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like a furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honour, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cannon's mouth. Then the justice, in fair round belly and good capon lined, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise souls and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon with spectacles on nose, pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice turning again towards childish troubles, pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history, the second childishness, mere oblivion, son's teeth, son's eyes, son's taste, son's everything.
Welcome. Set down thy venerable burden and let him feed.
I thank you most for him.
So what do you need? I scarce can speak to thank you for myself.
Welcome, fall to. I will not question you as yet about your fortunes. But give us some music, and good cousin, sing.
Blow, blow, thou winter wind, thou art not so unkind as man's ingratitude. Thy tooth is not so keen, because thou art not seen, although thy breath be rude. Hey ho, sing hey ho, unto the green holly. All friendship is feigning, most loving mere folly. So hey ho, the holly, this life is most jolly. Freeze, freeze, thou bitter sky, that does not quite so nigh, as benefits not. Though thou the waters pour, thy sting is not so sharp, as friends remember not. Hey ho, sing hey ho, unto the green holly. All friendship is fading, most loving their folly. So hey ho, the holly, this life is most jolly.
If that you were the good Sir Rowland's son, as you have whispered faithfully you were, and as mine eye doth his effigies witness, most clearly limbed and living in your face, be truly welcome hither. I am the Duke that loved your father. Good old man. You're right welcome, as your master is.
see him since? Sir, that cannot be. But were I not the better part made mercy, I should not seek an absent argument of my revenge, thou present. But look to it. Find out thy brother wheresoe'er he is. Seek him with candle. Bring him dead or living within this 12-month, or turn thou no more to seek a living in our territory. Thy land and all things that thou dost call thine worth seizure, do we seize into our hand, till thou canst quit thee by thy brother's mouth of what we think against thee.
Oh, that your highness knew my heart in this. I never loved my brother in my life.
More fool thou. Well, push him out of doors, and let my officers of such a nature make an extent upon his house and lands. Do this expediently, and turn him going.
In witness of my love, and thou, thrice-crowned Queen of Knights, survey with thy chaste eye from thy pale sphere above thy huntress name that my full life doth sway. Oh, Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts I'll character, that every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Run, run, Orlando, carve on every tree the fair, the chaste, and unexpressive she.
You this shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Ah, truly, shepherd. In respect of itself, it is a good life. But in respect that it is a shepherd's life, it is naught. Now, in respect that it is solitary, I like it very well. But in respect that it is private, it is a very vile life. Now, in respect that it is in the fields, pleaseth me well. But in respect that it is not in the court, it is tedious. As it is a spare life, look you, it fits my humour well. But as there is no more plenty in it, it goes much against my stomach. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
None, but that I know, the more one sickens, the worse at ease he is. That he that lacks money, means and content was without three good friends. Property of fire is to burn, rain is to wet. Good pasture makes fat sheep, and a great cause of the night is lack of the sun. And either to learn no wit by nature or art, may complain of fair breeding, or else come of very dull breeding.
Such a one is a natural philosopher. What's there at court, shepherd?
Nay, truly.
Thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
Truly thou art damned, like an ill-roasted egg all on one side.
For not being at court, your reason?
Why, if thou never was to court, thou ne'er saw'st good manners. If thou ne'er saw'st good manners, then thy manners must be wicked, and wickedness is sin, and sin is damnation. Thou art in a parlour state, shepherd.
Not a whit, Touchstone. Those that are good manners at the court are as ridiculous in the country as the behaviour of your country is most mockable at court. You say that in the court you salute not, yet you kiss hands. Such a courtesy would be uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
Instance, briefly, come instance.
Why, we're still handling our ewes and their fellas, you know, greasy.
Why, do not your courtiers' hands sweat? And is not the grease of a mutton as wholesome as the sweat of a man? Shallow, shallow, I say, a better instance come.
Besides, our hands are hard.
And your lips will feel them the sooner. Shallow again, a more sounder instance come.
And often tarred over with the surgery of our sheep. Would you have us kiss tar? Your courtiers' hands are perfumed with civet.
Most shallow man, thou worms me in respect of a good piece of flesh indeed. learn of the wise and perpend. Civet is of a baser birth than tar. The very uncleanly flux of a cat, mend the instant shepherd.
You have too courtly a wit for me. I'll rest.
Will thou rest, damned? God help thee, shallow man. God make incision in thee. Thou art raw.
Sir, I am a true labourer. I earn what I eat, get what I wear, owe no man hate, envy no man's happiness, glad about other men's content, and content with my harm. The greatest of all my pride is to see my sheep graze and my lambs suck.
That is another simple sin in you, to bring the ewes and the rams together and to offer to get your living by the copulation of cattle. To be bored to a bellwether and to betray a she-lamb of a 12-month to some crooked-pated old cuckoldy ram out of all possible match. If thou beest not damned for this, the devil himself will have no shepherds. I cannot see how else thou should escape.
Here comes young Master Ganymede, my new mistress's brother.
From the east to western end, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her worth being mounted on the wind, through all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fair as lined, arbor black to rosin lined. Let no face be kept in mind but the fair Rosalind.
I'll rhyme you so. 8 years together, dinners and suppers and sleeping hours accepted. This is a right butterwoman's rank to market.
Oh, you dull fool! I found them on a tree.
Well, for a taste, if a heart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosalind. If the cat would after kind, so be sure would Rosalind. Wintered garments must be lined, so must slender Rosalind. They that reap must sheaf and bind, then to cart with Rosalind. Sweetest nut hath sourest rind, such a nut is Rosalind. He that sweetest rose would find love's prick and Rosalind. This is a very false gallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you fool. I found them on a tree.
Then truly the tree yields bad fruit.
I'll graff it with you, and then I shall graff it with a meddler. For then it'll be the earliest fruit in the country, for you be rotten ere you be half ripe, for that's the right virtue of the meddler.
You have said. But whether wisely or no, let the forest judge.
Oh, peace, here comes my sister, reading. Stand aside.
Tongues are hang on every tree, civil sayings show.
Some of violated vows twixt the soul of friend and friend, but upon the fairest vows, or at every sentence end, will I Rosalinda write. Rosalind of many parts by heavenly synod was devised, of many faces, eyes and hearts to have the touch's dearest prize. Nature presently distilled Helen's cheek, but not her heart, Cleopatra's majesty, Atalanta's better part, sad Lucretia's modesty, heavenward that she these gifts should I, and I to live and die her slave.
Oh, most gentle pulpiter, what tedious homily you have wearied your parishioners withal, and never cried, "Have patience, good people!"
How now? Back, friends. Shepherd, go off a little. Sarah, go with him.
Come, shepherd, let's make an honourable retreat. But not with bag and baggage, with scrip and scrippage.
Didst thou hear these verses?
Oh yes, I heard them all, and more too.
But didst thou hear them without wondering how thy name came to be hanged and carved upon these trees?
I was 7 of the 9 days out of the wonder before you came, for look here what I found on a palm tree. I was never so berhymed since Pythagoras' time that I was an Irish rat, which I can hardly remember.
Shall you who have done this? Is it a man? And a chain about his neck that you once wore? Change of colour?
I prithee who?
Oh, Lord, Lord, it is a hard thing for friends to meet, but mountains may be removed by earthquakes, and thus encounter.
Nay, I prithee, tell me who it is.
Is it possible?
Oh, nay, I prithee now with most petitionary vehemence, tell me who it is.
Wonderful, wonderful, and again wonderful, wonderful, and most wonderful, wonderful, and out of all looping.
Good my complexion, dost thou think though I am comparison like a man, I have a doublet nose in my disposition? When each of to lay more is the south sea of discovery. I prithee tell me who it is quickly and speak apace. Oh, I prithee take the cork out of thy mouth that I might drink of thy tidings.
So thou mayst put a man in thy belly?
Is he of God's making? What manner of a man is he? Is his head worth a hat or his chin worth a beard?
No, he had but a little beard.
Why, God will send them more if the man be thankful. Then let me stay the growth of his beard if thou delay me not the knowledge of his chin.
It is. Young Orlando, who trekked up the restless heels of thy heart in an instant.
Nay, may the devil take mocking. Speak sad brow and true maid.
In faith, coz, 'tis he.
Orlando?
Orlando.
Oh, rest the day! What should I do with my doublet and hose? Oh, what did he when thou sawest him? What said he? Oh, how looked he? Wherein went he? Oh, what makes he here? Did he ask for me? Oh, wherein the forest lives he? Oh, when shall I part with? When shall you see him again? And tell me in one word.
You must borrow Gargantua's mouth first. It is a word too large for any mouth of this age's size.
But doth he know I am in the forest? And in man's apparel? Looks he as freshly as he did the day he wrestled.
I found him under a tree, stretched out like a wounded knight.
Although it be a pity to see such a sight, it well becomes the crown.
Right holler to thy tongue, it curvets unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous! He comes to kill my heart!
I would sing my song without a burden. You bring me out of tune.
Do you not know I'm a woman? When I think I must speak.
Oh, soft.
Say on.
Bring me out. Sweet say on. Well. Soft. Comes he not here?
'Tis he! Slink by and note him!
I thank thee for thy company, but by my faith I had as lief I'd been myself alone.
And so had I, but yet for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
Goodbye, you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we may be better strangers.
I pray you mar no more trees by writing love songs on their barks.
I pray you mar no more of my verses with reading them ill-favouredly.
Rosalind is your love's name?
Yes, just.
I do not like her name.
There was no thought of pleasing you when she was christened.
What stature is she of?
Just as high as my heart.
You are full of pretty answers. Have you been acquainted with goldsmiths' wives and conned them out of rings?
Not so, but I answer you right painted cloth from whence you have studied your questions.
You have a nimble wit. I think it was made of Atalanta's heels. Shall you sit with me and we two will rail against the mistress, our world and all our miseries?
I will chide no breather in the world but myself, against whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
It's a fault I would not change for your best virtue. I weary of you.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He is drowned in the brook. Look within and you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own figure.
Which I take to be either a fool or a cipher.
I'll tarry no longer with you. Goodbye, good senior love.
I am glad of your departure. Adieu, good Monsieur Melancholy.
I will speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that habit pay the days with him. Do you hear, Forrester?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what's 6 o'clock?
You should ask me what time of day. There's no clock in the forest.
Then there's no true lover in the forest, else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock.
Why not the swift foot of time? Had that not been as proper?
By no means, sir. Time travels in diverse paces with diverse persons. I'll tell you who time trots withal, who time gallops withal, and who he stands still withal.
I prithee, who does he trot withal?
Marry, he trots hard with a young maid between the contract of her marriage and the date is solemnised for. If the interim be but a sennight, time's pace so hard it seems the length of 7 years.
Who does he gallop withal?
With the thief to the gallows, for though he goes as softly as foot may fall, he thinks himself too soon there.
Who stays it still withal?
With the lawyers at the vacation, for they sleep between term and then they perceive not how time moves.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With the shepherdess, on the skirts of the forest, like fringe upon a petticoat.
Are you native of this place?
Was the pony where you see dwells she is kindled?
Your accent is something finer than you could purchase in so removed a dwelling.
I have been told so of many, but indeed an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak, who was in his youth an inland man. One who knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I have heard him read many a lecture against, and I thank God I am not a woman, to be touched with so many giddy offences as he hath generally taxed their whole sex withal.
Well, can you remember any of the principal evils he laid to the charge of women?
There were none principal. They were all like one another's halfpence are, each bolt seeming monstrous till his fellow fold came to match it.
Why, prithee, recount some of them.
No, I will not cast away my physic, but on those that are sick. There is a man who haunts the forest, abuses our young plants with carving Rosalind in their barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns, elegies upon brambles, all forsooth dare behind the name of Rosalind. If I could meet that fancy monger, I'd give him some counsel, because he seems to have the quotidian love upon him.
I am he that is so love-shaped. I pray you tell me your record.
There are none of my uncle's marks on you. He told me to know a man in love in which cage of blushes I think you're not a prisoner.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not. A blue eye sunken, which you have not. An unquestionable spirit, you have not. A beard neglected, which you have not. But I pardon you for that, for simply being in beard is a younger brother's revenue. But then your garter should be unbandaged, your bonnet untied, your sleeve unbuckled, your shoe untied, and everything about you demonstrating a careless desolation. But you are no such man. You're rather point device in your accoutrements, as loving yourself more than seeming the lover of any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe? You would soon make her you love believe, which I warrant you she's apter to do than to confess she does. That's one of the points in which women still give lie to their consciences, but in good sooth, are you he hangs the verses upon trees wherein Rosalind is so admired?
I swear to thee, youth, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he, that unfortunate he.
And are you so much in love as your rhymes speak?
Neither rhyme nor reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, and I tell you, deserves a dark house and a whip as madmen do. And the only reason why they are not so punished and cured is that the lunacy is so ordinary that the whippers are in love too. Yet, I profess to cure it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yes, one. And in this manner. He was to imagine me, his love, his mistress, and I set him every day to my coats and woo me. At which point, being but a moonish youth, would grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, full of smiles, full of tears, for every passion something and for no passion truly anything, as boys and women are for the most part cattle of this colour, would now like him, now loathe him, then weep for him, that spit at him, that I drave my suitor from his mad humour of love into a living humour of madness, which was to forswear the full stream of the world and live in a nook merely monastic. And thus I cured him. And I will take it upon me to wash your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart, that there shall not be one spot of love in it.
I would not be cured, youth.
I would cure you if you would but call me Rosalind and come every day to my coat and woo me.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will. Tell me where it is.
Go with me to it and I'll show it to you. And you shall tell me where in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay, you must call me Rosalind. Come, sister.
No.
Pace, good Audrey. I'll fetch up your goats, Audrey. And how, Audrey? Am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Your feature? What feature?
I am here with thee and thy goats, as the most capricious poet honest Ovid was amongst the goats.
Oh, knowledge ill inhabited, worse than Jove in a thatched house.
When a man's verses cannot be understood, nor a man's good wit seconded with the forward child understanding, strikes a man more dead than a great reckoning in a little room. Truly, would the gods have made thee poetical?
Here, I don't know what poetical is. Is it a good thing? Is it an honest thing? Is it a true thing?
No, truly, for the truest poetry is the most feigning, and lovers are given to poetry, and what they say in poetry may be said as lovers they do feign.
Wouldst thou that I was poetical?
I would truly, because if thou swearest to me thou art honest. Now, if thou wert a poet, I might have some hope thou didst feign.
Do you not wish me to be honest then?
Oh, truly, lest thou wert hard favoured, for honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey, a sauce to sugar.
A material fool.
Well, I am not fair, so I pray the gods make me honest.
And to cast away honesty upon a foul slut is to put good meat into an unclean dish.
I am not a slut. Though I pray the gods make me foul.
Well, praised be the gods for thy foulness. Sluttishness may come hereafter. But be that as it may be, I will marry thee. And to that end, I've been with Sir Oliver Martext, the vicar of the next village, who has promised to meet me here in this place of the forest and to couple us.
Well, the gods
I would fancy this meeting.
Well, the gods give us joy.
Amen. A man may, if he were of fearful heart, stagger at this attempt, for here we have no temple but the wood, no assembly but the horn beasts. But what though? Courage. As horns are odious, they are necessary. As a walled town is more worthier than a village, so is the forehead of a married man more honourable than the bare brow of a bachelor. Sir Oliver Martext, you are very well met. Will you dispatch us here under this tree, or shall we come with you to your forest, your chapel?
Is there no one here to give the woman?
I will not take her or gift of any man.
Truly, look, she has to be given, or the marriage isn't lawful.
Proceed, proceed. I'll give her.
Good even, good master. What you call it? How do you do, sir? I'm very pleased to see you. You're very well met. Even a toy in hand here, sir. Pray be covered.
Will you be married, Motley?
As the ox has his bow, sir, the horse his curb, and the falconer bells, so man, as his desires. And as pigeons bill, so wedlock would be nibbling.
And will you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush like a beggar? Get thee to a church and find a good priest that will tell you what marriage is. This fellow will just join you together, just like they join wainscot. And then one of you will prove a shrunk panel and, like green timber, warp. Warp.
I'm not of the mind, but I may be better to be married of him than another. For he's not like to marry me well, and not being well married, it'll be a good excuse for me hereafter to leave my wife.
Come thou with me and let me counsel thee.
Come, sweet Audrey, we must be married, or we must live in Baldry. Farewell, good Master Oliver. Not, oh, sweet Oliver, oh, brave Oliver, leave me not behind thee, but wind away, begone, I say, I will not to wedding with thee.
'Tis no matter. Nary a fantastical knave among them will flout me from my calling.
Browner than Judas's. His very kisses are Judas's own children.
Ill-fated hair is of a good colour.
An excellent colour. Chestnut was ever your only colour.
Why does he say he will come this morning and comes not?
Certainly, there is no truth in him.
Not true in love?
When he is in, but I think he's not in.
You've heard him swear downright he was.
Was is not is. Besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the word of a tapster. They're both a confirmer of false reckonings. He attends here in the forest on the Duke thy father.
Oh, I met with the Duke yesterday and had much question with him. He asked me of what parentage I was. I said, of as good as he, so he laughed and let me go. What talk we of fathers when there's a man such as Orlando?
Ah, there's a brave man. He writes brave verses, speaks brave words, and he makes brave oaths, which he breaks bravely, quite athwart the heart of his lover. But all's brave where youth mounts and folly guides. Soft, who comes here?
Master and mistress, you've often inquired after the young shepherd that complained of love, that you saw sit by me erewhile by here on the turf, praising the proud and disdainful shepherdess that was his lover.
Well, what of him?
If you would see a pageant truly played between the pale complexion of true love and the red glow of scorn and proud disdain, go hence a little. I'll conduct you through market.
Come, let us remove. The sight of lovers feedeth those in love.
Executioner, whose heart the accustomed sight of death makes hard, falls not the axe upon the humble neck, but first begs pardon. Will thou sterner be than he that dies and lives by bloody drops?
I would not be thy executioner. I fly thee, for I would not injure thee. Thou sayest there is murder in mine eyes, 'tis pretty sure and very probable that eyes that are the frailest and softest things, who shut their coward gates on agonies, should be called butchers, tyrants, murderers? No, I will frown on thee with all my heart, and if my eyes can wound, now let them kill thee. Now counterfeit to swoon, why now fall down? Or if thou canst not, oh for shame, lie not to say my eyes are murderous.
Dear Phoebe, if ever, as that ever may be near, you should meet in some fresh cheek the power of fancy, then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time, come not thou near me, and when that time comes, afflict me with thy mocks. Do not pity me, as till that time I shall not pity thee.
I pray you, who might be your mother? That you insult, exult, and all at once over the wretched? What, though you have no beauty, as I see no more in you than without candle may go dark to bed, must you be therefore proud and pitiless? Why, what means this? Why do you look on me?
What's my will? I think she means to tangle my eyes too.
No, vague proud mistress, hope not after it. I see no more in you than the ordinary of nature's cell work. You foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her like foggy south, puffing wind and rain? You're 1,000 times a proper woman than than she a woman. 'Tis not her glass, but you that flatters her. And out of you she sees herself more proper than any of her lineaments can show her. Mistress, know yourself. Down on your knees. Thank heavens fasting for a good man's love. For I tell you, gently in your ear, sell while you can. You are not for all markets. Take his love. Foul is most foul to be the scoffer. Shepherd, take her to thee. Fare you well.
Sweet youth, I pray thee, chide a year together. I would rather hear you chide than that man woo.
Oh, he'll fall in love with her foulness, and she'll fall in love with my anger. Oh, if it be so, as fast as she can answer me, so soon work on. Give her bitter words. Why look you so upon me?
For no ill will I bear thee.
Oh, I pray you, do not fall in love with me, for I am falser than vows made in wine. And besides, I like you. Not. You'll know my house at the Tuft of Olives here hard by. There you go, sister. Shepherd, ply her hard. Come, sister. Shepherdess, be not proud. For all the world can see, none can be so abused in sight as he. To our flock.
Dead shepherd, now I find thy sore of might. Whoever loved that loved not at first sight.
Dear Phoebe.
What sayest thou, Silvius?
Oh, sweet Phoebe, pity me.
Why, I am sorry for thee.
Wherever sorrow would be, relief would be. If you do sorrow at my grief in love, by giving love, your sorrow and my grief would both exterminate.
Thou hast, my love. Is not that neighbourly?
Oh, I would have you!
Why, that were covetousness. Silvius, the time was that I hated thee, and yet it is not that I bear thee love, but since thou canst talk of love so well, thy company, which erst was irksome to me, I will endure, and I'll employ thee too. But do not look for further recompense than thine own gladness that thou art employed.
So holy and so perfect is my love, and I in such a poverty of grace, that I shall think it a most plenteous crop to glean the broken ears after the man that the main harvest reaps. Loose now and then a scattered smile, that I'll live upon.
Knowest thou the youth that spoke to me erewhile?
Not very well, but he hath bought the cottage and the bounds that the old Carlet was once master of.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him, 'tis but a peevish boy. And yet he talks well, but what care I for words? Yet words do well, when he that speaks them pleaseth those that hear. It is a pretty youth, not very pretty, but sure, he's proud. And yet his pride becomes him, he'll make a proper man. The best thing in him is his complexion, and faster than his tongue did give offence, his eye did heal it up. He's not very tall, but for his years he's tall. His leg is but so-so, and yet 'tis well. There's a pretty redness in his lip, a little lighter and more lusty red than that mixed in his cheek. 'Twas just the difference twixt the constant red and the mingled damask. There be some women, Silvius, who, having marked him out in parcels as I have, will be close to falling in love with him, but for my part, I love him not, nor hate him not. And yet I have more reason to hate him than to love him. What had he to chide at me? He said my eyes were black and my hair was black, and now I am remembered did scorn at me. I wonder I answered not again. But that's no matter. Omittance is no quittance. I'll write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it. Wilt thou, Silvius?
Oh, Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it to him straight. The matter's in my head and in my heart. I will be bitter with him and passing short. Go with me, Silvius.
I prithee, youth, let me be better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those at our extremity of either are abominable fellows, and betray themselves to every modern censure worse than drunkards.
Why, 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why then 'tis good to be a post.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musician's, which is fantastical, nor the courtier's, which is proud, nor the soldier's, which is ambitious, nor the lawyer's, which is politic, nor the lady's, which is nice, nor the lover's, which is all of these, but it is a melancholy of mine own, compounded of many simples, extracted from many objects, and indeed the sundry contemplation of my travels, which by often rumination doth wrap me in the most humorous sadness.
A traveller! By my faith, you have good reason to be sad. I fear you have sold your own lands to see other men's, and to have seen much and have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes, I have gained my experience.
And your experience makes you sad. I'd rather have a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad. And to travel for it, too.
Good day and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Nay then, goodbye you. And you talk in blank verse.
Farewell, Monsieur Traveller. Why, how now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You a lover? You serve me such another trick, never come in my sight more.
Fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my promise.
Break an hour's promise of love? He that divide a minute into 1,000 parts and breaks but a part of 1,000 part of a minute in affairs of love. It may be said of him that Cupid hath clapped him on the shoulder. I'll warrant him heart whole.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy? I'd least be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
Aye, of a snail. For though he comes slowly, he carries his house on his head. A better jointure, I think, than you make a woman. And besides, he brings his destiny with him.
What's that?
Why, horns! Which is such as you are fain to be beholding your wives for.
Virtue is no hornmaker, and my Rosalind is virtuous.
And am I your Rosalind?
It pleases him to call you so, but he has a Rosalind of a better leer than you.
Come now, I am in holiday humour and like enough to consent. And what would you say to me now and I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you had better to gravel for lack of matter, and then you could take occasion to kiss.
Have the kiss be denied?
Well, then she puts you to entreaty, and there begins new matter. Am not I your Rosalind?
Well, it takes some joy to say you are, for I'd be talking of her.
Well, then, in her person, I say, I will not have you.
Then in mine own person, I die.
No, Faith. Die by attorney. Oh, this poor world is almost 6,000 years old, and in all this time, there was never any man died in his own person, videlicet in a love cause. Men have died from time to time, and worms have eaten them, but not for love.
I would not have my right Rosalind of this mind, for I protest a frown might kill me.
By this hand, it would not kill a fly. But, come. Now I'll be your Rosalind in a more coming-on disposition. Ask me what you will, and I'll grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, Faith, I will. Friday, Saturdays and all.
Wilt thou have me?
Aye, and 20 such.
What sayest thou?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
Why, then, can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you shall be the priest and marry us.
Pray thee, marry us.
Give me hand, I want to say the words. You must begin. Will you, Orlando?
Go to. Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye, but when?
Why, now as fast as she can marry us.
Well, then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I do take thee, Orlando, for husband. Oh, but how long would you have her after you possessed her?
Well, forever. And a day.
Say the day without the ever. No, Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of thee than a Barbary cock pigeon over his hen, more giddy than my desires than a monkey, more newfangled than an ape. I will wait for nothing like Diana in the fountain, and that when thou art disposed to be merry. I will laugh like a hyena, and that when thou art inclined to sleep.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
But she is wise.
Or else she would not have the wit to do this. The wiser, the waywarder. Make the doors upon a woman's wit, and 'twill out to the casement. Shut that, and 'twill out to the keyhole. Stop that, and 'twill fly with the smoke out of the chimney.
For these 2 hours I'll leave thee, Rosalind.
Alas, dear love, I cannot lack thee 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke at dinner. I'll be with thee by 2 o'clock.
Aye, go your ways. Go your ways. I knew what you would prove. My friends told me as much, and I thought no less. That flattering tongue of yours won me. 'Tis but one cast away, so come, death! 2 o'clock's your hour?
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
By my troth, and in good earnest, and so God mend me, and by all pretty oaths that are not dangerous, if you break 1 jot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, the most hollow lover, the most unworthy of her you call Rosalind that can be chosen from the gross band of the unfaithful. Therefore, beware my censure, and keep your promise.
with no less religion than if they were't indeed my Rosalind. So adieu.
Time is the old justice that examines such offenders. And let time try. Adieu.
You have simply misused our sex in your love prate. We must have your doublet and hose plucked over your head, so the world may see what the bird hath done to her own nest.
Oh, Coz, pretty little Coz, that thou didst know how many fathoms deep I am in love. My affection hath an unknown bottom, like the Bay of Portugal.
Or rather, bottomless. The more you pour your affections in, the more they run out.
Oh, no, that same blind, rascally boy that was begot of thought, conceived of spleen and born of madness. Oh, let him be the judge of how deep I am in love. I tell thee, Aliena, I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. I'll go find his shadow and sigh till he come.
And I'll sleep.
Orlando.
I warrant you, with a troubled brain and a pure heart, you take these bows and arrows and is gone forth to sleep. Soft. Oh, here comes he.
My errand is with you, fair youth. And my gentle Phoebe did bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guess by the stern brow and waspish action he had where she did write of it, it bears an angry tenor. Pardon me, I am but a guiltless messenger.
Patience herself would start out this letter and play the swaggerer. Bear this, bear all. She says I am not fair, that I lack manners. She calls me proud, and says that she could not love me were man as rare as Phoenix. Odds my will, her heart is not the hair that I do want. Why writes she so to me? Well, shepherd, well, this is a letter of your own device.
No, I protest I know not the contents. Phoebe did write it.
Why, 'tis a boisterous and cruel style, a style for challengers. She never did write this. This is a man's invention and his hand.
Sure, it is hers.
Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou God to shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can a woman rail thus?
You call this railing?
Why that God had laid apart, warst thou a woman's heart? Did you ever hear such railing? Whilst the eye of man did woo me, that could do no vengeance to me. Whether that thy youth and kind will the faithful offer take, of me and all that I can make, or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how to die.
You call this chiding?
Alas, poor shepherd. Do you pity him? He deserves no pity. Will thou make a prompt, sorry.
Love such a woman.
Will thou love such a woman? Why, to make thee an instrument to play false strains upon thee? Not to be endured. Go your way to her. For I see love hath made thee a tame snake. And say this to her. If she love me, I charge her to love thee. And if she will not, I will never have her, unless thou entreat for her. If you be a true lover, hence not a word, for here comes more company.
Good morrow, fair ones. Pray you if you know where in the purlieus of this forest there stands a sheepcote fenced about with olive trees?
East of this place, down at the neighbour's bottom. The rank of osiers, by the murmuring stream, left on your right hand brings you to the place. But at this hour, the house doth keep itself, there's none within.
If an eye should profit by a tongue, then I should know you by description. Such garments and such years, and the boy is fair, of female favour, and bestows himself like a ripe sister. The woman, low and browner than her brother. Are not you the owner of the house I did inquire for?
It is no boast being asked to say we are.
Orlando doth commend him to you both, and to that youth he calls his Rosalind, he sends his bloodied napkin. Are you he?
Oh, I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame, if you will know of me what man I am, and how and when and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you, tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left behind a promise to return again within an hour, and pacing through the forest, chewing the food of sweet and bitter fancy, know what befell. He cast his eye aside and marked what object did present itself. Beneath an old oak, whose boughs were mossed with age and high-topped, dry with bald antiquity, a wretched, ragged man, o'ergrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. About his neck, a green and gilded snake had wreathed itself, who, with her head nimble in threats, approached the opening of his mouth. But suddenly, seeing Orlando, it did unlink itself and with indented glides to slip away into a bush, under which bush's shade, a lioness, with udders all drawn dry, lay couching, head on ground, with cat-like watch, when that the sleeping man should wake, for 'tis the royal disposition of that beast to prey on nothing that doth seem as dead. This seen, Orlando did approach the man, and found it was his brother, his elder brother.
I have heard him speak of this brother. He did render him the most unnatural that lived amongst men.
And well he might so do, for well I know he was unnatural.
But to Orlando, did he leave him there, food to the hungry and sick lioness?
Twice did he purpose so, and turned his back, but nature, but his kindness no by ever than revenge, and nature stronger than his just occasion, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him, in which hurtling for miserable slumber I awaked.
Are you his brother?
Was you he rescued?
Was you who so oft contrived to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I. I do not shame to tell you what I was, since my conversion so sweetly tastes in the thing I am.
But to the bloody napkin?
By and by, when from the first to last betwixt us two tears our recountments had most kindly bathed, as how I came into that desert place, in brief, he led me to the gentle Duke, who gave me fresh array and entertainment, committing me unto my brother's love, who led me instantly unto his cave. There, stripped himself. Here, on his arm, the lioness had torn some flesh away, which all this while had bled. Now, faint. And cried in fainting upon Rosalind. Brief, I recovered him, bound up his wound, and in a short space, being strong at heart, he sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell this story that you might excuse his broken promise, and to give this napkin, stained with his blood, unto that shepherd youth that he in sport doth call his Rosalind.
How Come now, Ganymede. Sweet Ganymede.
Many will swoon when they do look on blood.
There's more in it. Cousin, Ganymede.
Oh, would I were at home.
Look, he recovers. Be of good cheer, youth. What, you a man? You lack a man's heart.
Oh, I do so, I confess it.
Oh, Sirrah, body would think this was well counterfeited. Tell your brother how well I counterfeited. Hey-ho!
This was no counterfeit. There is too great testimony in your complexion that it was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Well then, be of good heart and counterfeit to be a man.
So do I. But I faith I should have been a woman by right. Come, you look paler and paler. We will draw you homeward. So, go with us?
That will I, for I must bear answer back how you excuse my brother, Rosalind.
I shall devise something. But I pray you commend my counterfeiting to him. Will you go?
We shall find a time, Audrey. Patience, gentle Audrey.
Faith, the priest was good enough for all the old man's saying.
Most wicked Sir Oliver, Audrey. A most vile mar-text. But, Audrey, there's a youth here in the forest lays claim to you.
Oh, I know who you mean. He has nothing to do with me in the world. No. Oh, here he comes.
Meat and drink to me, see a clown. By my troth, we that have good wits have much to answer for. We shall be flouting, we cannot hold.
Good evening, Audrey.
Evening, William.
And good evening to you, sir.
Good evening, gentle friend. No, cover there. Now, pray be covered. How old are you, friend?
5 and 20, sir.
Right age. Oh, William.
William, sir.
Sir Fiona. Born in the forest here.
Aye, sir. I thank God for it.
Thank God. A good answer. How rich?
No, sir. So.
Oh, so is good. Very good. Very excellent good. And yet, it is not. It is but so. Not thou wise?
Aye, sir. I have a pretty wit.
Why thou sayest well. I remember now saying, fool doth think himself wise. The wise man knows himself to be a fool. Why, the heathen philosopher, when he has a desire to eat a grape, does open his lips when he wants to put it into his mouth, meaning that lips were made to open and grapes to eat. Did you love this maid?
Aye, sir, I do.
Give me your hand. Now learn it.
No, sir.
Then learn this of me. To have is to have, for it is a figure in rhetoric that drink, being poured out of a cup into a glass, by the filling of one, doth empty the other. Now, all your writers do consent that ipse is he. Now, you are not ipse, for I am he.
Which is he, sir?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Therefore, you clown, abandon, which in the vulgar is leave, the society, which in the boorish is company, of this female, which in the common is woman, or together abandon the society of this female, or, clown, thou perishest, or to thy better understanding diest, or to wit, I kill thee, make thee away, translate thy life into death, thy liberty into bondage. I will deal in poison in thee, or in bastinado, or in steel. I will band thee with thee in faction. I will outrun thee with policy. I will kill thee 150 ways. Therefore, tremble and depart.
Go, good William.
Do good, you merry sir.
Our master and mistress seeks you. Come away.
Trip, Audrey. Trip, Audrey. I'm safe.
possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her? That but seeing you should love her, and loving woo, and wooing she should grant? And do you persevere to enjoy her?
Neither call the giddiness of it in question. The poverty of her, the short acquaintance, my sudden wooing, or her sudden acceptance. But say with me, I love Aliena! Say with her that she loves me too. Consent with both that we may enjoy each other. 'Twill be to your good, for my father's house and all the revenue that was old Sir Roland's I will estate upon you, and here live and die a shepherd.
You have my consent. Let your wedding be tomorrow. Thither I will invite the Duke and all his contented followers. Go you and prepare Aliena. For look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother!
And you, fair sister.
Oh, my dear Orlando, how it grieves me to see thy wear thy heart in a scar.
It is my arm.
Oh, I thought thy heart had been wounded by the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited to swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that.
Oh, I know where you are. Oh, nay, 'tis true, there was never anything so sudden but the fight of two rams and Caesar's Stresonical I came, saw, overcame. For your brother and my sister no sooner met, but they looked. No sooner looked, but they loved. No sooner loved, but they sighed. No sooner sighed, but they sought, asked one another the reason. No sooner knew the reason, but sought the remedy. And in these degrees they have built a pair of stairs to marriage, which they shall climb incontinent, or else be incontinent before marriage. They are in the very wrath of love. They will together. Clubs cannot part them.
They shall be married tomorrow. I will bid the Duke to the nuptial, but oh, how bitter a thing it is to look into happiness through another man's eyes. By so much the more will I tomorrow be at the height of heart heaviness. By so much more will I tomorrow think my brother how lucky in having what he wishes for.
Well, tomorrow can I not serve your turn for Rosalind?
I can no longer live by thinking.
Well, I will weary you then no longer with idle talking. Know of me that I can do strange things. I have, since I were 3-year-old, conversed with a magician, most profound in his art, but not damnable. If you love Rosalind, so near the heart as your gesture cries it out, then when your brother marries Aliena, shall you marry her? I know into what straits of fortune she is driven, and it's not impossible to me, if it appear not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow, human as she is, and without any danger.
Speakst thou in sober meanings?
By my life I do, which I tender dearly, though I say I am a magician. Well, then put you in your best array, bid your friends, for if you will be married, tomorrow you shall, and to Rosalind, if you will. Look, here comes a lover of mine and a lover of hers.
Youth, thou hast done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I writ to you.
I care not if I have. It is my study to seem despiteful and ungentle to you. You were here followed by a most faithful shepherd. Look on him. Love him. He worships you.
Gentle shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
Oh, it is to be made of faith and service. And so I am for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
So am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
It is to be made of all fantasy,
all passion,
and all wishes. And so I am for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Who do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
To her that is not here, nor does not hear.
Oh, I pray you, no more of this. 'Tis like the howling of Irish wolves against the moon. Oh. I will help you if I can. I would love you if I could. Tomorrow, meet me all together. I will marry you if ever I marry a woman, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if ever I satisfy man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind, meet! As you love Phoebe, meet! And as I love no woman, I'll meet! Very well, I've left you commands.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I. Nor I.
Tomorrow is the joyful day, Audrey. Tomorrow we will be married.
Oh, I do desire it with all my heart. Oh, I hope it's not a dishonest desire to want to be a woman of the world. Oh, here's one of the Duke's courtiers.
Well met, honest gentlemen.
Why, my troth, well met. Come, sit, sit. And a song.
It was a lover at his nest, with a hey and a ho and a hey, nonny no, and a hey, nonny nonny no, who through the green cornfield did pass in springtime, in springtime, in springtime, the only pretty ringtime, when birds do sing, hey ding-a-ling-a-ling, hey ding-a-ling-a-ling, hey ding-a-ling-a-ling, sweet lovers love the spring. Between the acres of the rye, with a hey and a ho and a hey, nonny no, and a hey, nonny nonny no, his pretty country folk would lie in springtime, in springtime, in springtime, the only pretty ringtime, when birds do sing, hey ding-a-ling-a-ling, hey ding-a-ling-a-ling, hey ding-a-ling-a-ling, sweet lovers love the spring. Ooh. This carol they began that hour with a hey and a ho and a hey, nonny no, and a hey, nonny nonny no. Now that life was but a flower in springtime, in springtime, in springtime, the only pretty ringtime, when birds do sing, hey ding-a-ling-a-ling, hey ding-a-ling-a-ling, hey ding-a-ling-a-ling, sweet lovers love the spring. And therefore take the present time with a hey and a ho and a hey, nonny no, and a hey, nonny nonny no. For love is crowned with the pride in springtime, in springtime, in springtime, the only pretty ringtime, when birds do sing, hey ding-a-ling-a-ling, hey ding-a-ling-a-ling, hey ding-a-ling-a-ling, sweet lovers love the spring.
Truly, young gentlemen, though there was no great matter in the ditty, yet the note was very untunable.
Huh? You are deceived, sir. We kept not our time. We kept our time. We lost not our time.
Oh, my troth, yes, I consider it but time lost to hear such a foolish song. God buy you and God mend your voices. Come, Audrey.
Believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this that he hath promised?
I sometimes do believe and sometimes do not, as those that fear they hope and know they fear.
Patience once more while I come back to learn. You say, if I bring in your Rosalind, you will bestow her on Orlando here?
That would I, had I kingdoms to give with her.
And you say you will have her when I bring her?
That would I, were I of all kingdoms king.
You say you'll marry me if I be willing?
That will I, should I die the hour after.
Or else, refusing me, you'll give yourself to this most faithful shepherd.
So is the bargain?
You say you'll have Phoebe if Yes, she will.
Oh, to have her and death were both one thing.
I have promised to make all this matter even. Keep your words, O Duke, to give your daughter. Yours, Orlando, to receive his daughter. Keep your word, Phoebe, that you'll marry me, or else refusing me to wed this shepherd. Keep your word, Silvius, that you'll have her if she refuses me, and from hence I go to make these doubts all even.
I do remember in that shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favour.
My lord, the first time I ever saw him, he thought he was a brother to your daughter.
There is sure another flood toward. And these couples are coming to the ark. Here comes a pair of very strange beasts, which in old tongues are called fools.
Salutations and greetings to you all.
Good, my lord. Bid him welcome. This is the motley-minded gentleman I do often meet in the forest. He had been a courtier, he swears.
If any man doubt that, let them put me to my purgation. I have trod a measure, I have flattered a lady, I have been politic with my friends, smooth with mine enemies.
Good, my lord, like this fellow.
I like him very well.
God healed you, sir. I desire you of the like. I press in here, sir, amongst the rest of the country copulatives, to swear and to forswear, as marriage binds and blood breaks. A poor virgin, sir, an ill-favoured thing, sir, but mine own. A poor humour of mine, sir, to take that no man else will. Rich honesty dwells like a miser, sir, in your poorhouse, like your pearl in your foul oyster.
By my faith, he's very swift and sententious.
Is he not a rare fellow, my lord? He's as good at anything, and yet a fool.
Now is there mirth in heaven, when earthly things atone together. Good Duke, receive thy daughter. Hymen from heaven brought her. Yea, brought her hither, that thou mightst join her hand with his, whose heart within his bosom lives.
I give myself to you, for I am yours. To you I give myself, for I am yours.
If there be truth in sight, you are my daughter.
If there be truth in sight, you are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, well then, I love a Jew.
I'll have no father if you be not he. I'll have no husband if you be not he. Nor ne'er wed woman if you be not she.
Peace, ho, I bar confusion. 'Tis I must make conclusion of these most strange events. 'Tis 8 who must take hands to join in Hymen's bands, if truth holds true contents. You and you are heart in heart. You and you, no cross shall part. You to his love must accord, or have a woman to your lord. You and you are strong together as winter to foul weather. Here's a wedding hymn we sing. Feed your minds with questioning how these things came to pass, how first we met and now we finish. Wedding is great, Juno's crown, all blessed of board and bed. Hymen is people's every town, aye, wedding be honoured. Honour, to him, to Hymen, to
dear niece. Welcome you are to me, even daughter, welcome in no less degree.
I will not eat my words, now thou art mine. Thy faith my fancy to thee doth combine.
May I have a word? Also, I am the second son of Sir Rowland. The Frederick, hearing how that every day men of great worth resorted to this forest, addressed the mighty power, which were on foot in his own conduct, purposely to take his brother here and challenge him to the sword. And to the skirts of this wildwood he came, where meeting with an old religious man, after some question with him, was converted, both from his enterprise and from the world. His crown bequeathing to his banished brother, and all their lands restored to them again, looking with him exiled. This to be true, I do engage my life.
Welcome, young man. Thou offerest fairly to thy brother's wedding. To one, his lands withheld, and to the other, a land itself at large, a potent dukedom. First in this forest let us do those ends which here were well begun and well begot. And after every of this happy number that has endured shrewd days and nights with us, shall share the good of our returned fortune according to the measure of their states. Meantime, forget this new fallen dignity and fall into our rustic revelry. Play music, and you brides and bridegrooms all, with measure heaped in joy, to the measure fall.
By your patience, sir. If I did hear you rightly, you doth say that the Duke has cast on a religious life and thrown into neglect his pompous court?
He hath.
Then to him shall I. Out of these convertites there is much matter to be heard and learned. You to your former honour I bequeath, your patience and your virtue well deserved. You to a love that your true faith doth courage. You to your land and your love and your great allies. You to your long and well-deserved bed. You to your wrangling, for thy loving voyage is but for 2 months' victual. And so to your pleasures, I am for other than for dancing measures.
Stay, Jacob, stay.
To see no pastime I. What you would have, I'll stay to know at your abandoned cave.
Proceed, proceed. We will begin these rites as we do trust. They'll end in true delights.
not the fashion to see the lady the epilogue, but it is no more unhandsome than to see the lord the prologue. If it be true that a good wine needs no bush, 'tis true that a good play needs no epilogue. Yet to good wines they do use good bushes, and good plays prove the better with the help of good epilogues. What a case am I in then, that I'm neither a good epilogue nor can insinuate with you on behalf of a good play. I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg will not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I shall begin with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as pleases you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women, as I perceive by your simpering that none of you hates them, that between you and the women, the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you as had beards that pleased me, complexions that liked me, and breaths that I defied not. And I am sure as many of you as have good beards or sweet faces or sweet breaths will, for my kind offer, when I make curtsy, bid me farewell.